In this video, I will go over how to record case management services and case disposition for participants that already have an assessment form. Remember, you should not start recording services for a participant until you have completed a risk assessment form for that participant. Let's get started. To report services for a participant, you can click on the Direct Activities button on the left menu like this. Now, you can select the case management link on the page like this. This takes us to the case management page for your program. If you have already entered case management services, there should be staff listed that have provided those services. For example, in this sample account, Jim J. has already entered case management service records, so he is showing up on the list for case management. But for this example, I want to enter a record for case manager Sarah James, but she's not showing up as a case manager because there are no service records entered for her yet. If this is the first record for the staff person, as it is for Sarah James, then you'll have to add this staff person to the list. To do this, click the Add Record tab at the top of the page here, like this. Now you can select the staff that is providing the services from the drop-down menu here. These staff members should already have been set up for your program. If you don't know how to set up a staff for your program, then you should sign up for the Beginner CMS training where we'll go over the basic introduction to the CMS. I'll go ahead and select Sarah James like this. Next, you'll enter the date that the case management services took place. If you're entering a record on the day that the services were provided, you can simply click the Today button like this. Or you can enter the date in manually. Next, you should select the record type from the drop-down menu here. This is a new feature. There are now 4 types of records: a case note, a contact, a closed note, and a hold note. We made this change because many programs were forgetting to enter when youth completed or stopped services, and this was negatively impacting the results of their performance measures. So now, select the record type like this, and for this example, we will select contact here. In step 2, you must select the participant with which you had the contact. You can search by the first and last name of the participant, or by the last name initial, like this. You'll see that it'll list all the participants in the program. However, you are only to select participants for which you have entered and completed an assessment. Let's select Karen Bryan and click the Create New Record button here, like this. This takes us to the Contacts and Notes page for the record you're entering. Now first you're required to enter the length of the encounter in minutes in this field here, like this. Then, you must select the fiscal year in which the contact took place. Now if your organization is funded to provide multiple programs, then you must select the program funded to provide the case management work. Next you must complete the following fields: the contact method, the contact with, the contact location, and the contact needs addressed. These sections are self-explanatory, so if you want more guidance around these, please contact your program officer. The next 2 sections do not always need to be completed. They are the referral details section and the referral follow-up section. You should enter information in these fields only when there has been some action taken on the referral. Many programs are forgetting to enter referral information into the CMS, but it is required information. For this example, let's say that we're referring Karen Bryan for special tutoring at the ABC Tutoring Agency. We would enter into details under the referral details section like this. First, indicate if the referral is necessary or not necessary. Then select the service you're referring to the participant to from the drop-down menu here. If you're referring the participant to a service not found on the drop-down menu, type in the service in the field here. Next, enter the agency that you referred your participants to receive the service from. Finally, you enter the date that you are making the referral on. Once you enter this information, the staff person who made the referral can run a report from his or her staff record to remind them to follow up on the referrals. Don't forget to enter the referral follow-up information when the final outcome of the referral is known. If you follow up on a referral and the referral agency or participant is still trying to make a successful connection, then you should leave the status blank, and make a note for yourself to continue to follow up until a final status is determined. Once there is a final status on the referral, you should enter the outcome in the referral follow-up section of the contact form here. If you have confirmation that the client is accessing the program or services, then you should enter successful in the referral status field here. So if Karen is connected and engaged with the ABC Tutoring Agency, then you will enter successful. If the client selects not to follow through and engage with the referred program and services, or other barriers prohibit access to those services, then you should enter not successful in the referral status field. However, if the client's needs have changed and the referral is no longer needed, then you should simply enter no longer needed in the referral status field. Then make sure that you enter the date that you confirmed that the client has either engaged successfully, not engaged successfully, or that the referral is no longer needed in the referral follow-up date field above, like this. Finally, there is an optional notes section for you to enter notes that you may need in managing the case. DCYF does not use this information entered in the notes section. Some programs enter notes on the CMS and then print a copy of the contact form for their files. You should follow the procedure set by your organization on case notes. Once you've completed all the fields, you can click on the yellow Save button at the top of the form, like this, to save your work. It's important that you click on the Save button periodically while working on the form to avoid losing your work if you accidentally navigate away from this page. Now, to return to a list of all the service records that this staff member created for this participant, click the Return button at the top of the page, like this. This takes us to the general info page for the service records this staff person has with this particular participant. To add more service records between this staff person and this specific participant, you can enter the date here, select the type of record, and then click the Add button. This would take you to the contacts and notes for the additional record that you are adding. To complete this new record, simply go through the steps that we already went through. Now, when you want to edit or update a previously entered record, click on the Direct Activities button on the left menu here, like this. Then you can click on the Case Management link here. Now click on the staff name of the staff person whose records you need to access. We'll click on Sarah James. Now click on the name of the participant whose records you want to update, Karen Bryan. This takes us to a list of contacts for that participant. To access a contact record, simply click on the View and Edit button here, like this, for the contact you want to edit. You can now add additional information to this contact and note page, and then make sure that you click the Save button at the top to save the changes. And then you can click Return button to go back to the list of contacts between the staff person and that participant. This concludes the second of our 3 videos on entering case management data.